Why can't the markets just go the way I want them to? I tell them to do one thing. They got one job. Bitcoin has one job, and it fails miserably. Welcome back to another video on my leverage trading sort of series. I don't know what to call it really. It's a bit of a mess. Let's be honest. Everyone is having a bit of a mess with their trading at the moment. I've had some time to think about what's going on and what I plan to do going forward with this. And I'll just give you an update about the trade I had. So I had a trade on, and because the market went so south that I had to close it out. So when Bitcoin dipped under 40k the other day, I was like, hell to the no. I am not gonna let this dry out any more than it already is. And with everyone having the predictions that it's going to go down to 37, 35, even 32, it's just it was already happening, and I was just thinking to myself, what is the point in even having this open anymore? Because it's not going to get back to my original price anytime soon, where I had my entry price. So I just thought, oh, spot it, F it, screw it, bollocks to it, just close the trade, take the loss, kick on, move on, keep calm, and carry the fuck on. Pretty much, that's what my mentality was. But with everything that's going on, and the whole volatility of Bitcoin at the moment, and Solana, of course, because it follows with it. If anyone's wondering why I'm using Solana and why I'm focusing so heavily on Solana, but with Solana, they're going to be, in my opinion, with everything that's going on with Solana, and with the whole bull run coming, and how well they've performed, and how well they'll outperform Bitcoin during Q4 of 2023, so just a month and a half ago or so even, it was going so well. They were performing incredibly well from like September to New Year's, basically. And I think in the bull run, they're going to do incredibly well. So that's why I'm focusing solely on Solana. I could split it into different trades, but I really want to focus on that. Yes, I know that's extremely risky to do so, but I'm doing it in a time where I pretty much am assuming, just as you are as well, that the markets are only going to go up. And if I was to split it between Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Matic, or Avalanche, if I was to have a bunch of those in individual trades, they're going to move with Bitcoin. If because of what we've seen over the last week and a half or so to 2 weeks with the dumping, every single altcoin gets affected because of Bitcoin. So I don't see any other point other than just focusing on one, and one that's performed very, very well in the last few months. So that's what I'm going to be doing. In terms of now, what I'm going to be doing with trading is, because of the narrative at the moment with Bitcoin and crypto in general is just bearish. It's just dumps every day from Grayscale and the miners and numerous other factors as well. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to be putting that lump sum into my trade, that $1,000 yet. I'm going to be doing that probably from after the halving. I know that's a bit of a way away, a couple of months, but time flies. We're already in February next week. So that's what I'm going to be doing with that. But with that 1,000, instead I'm going to be just flipping Solana on Jupiter Exchange. I'm using them because they're going to be doing an airdrop in the next week or so. So I've done some swaps on here. I've done some DCA. I've done some limit orders. I've done, I think, a bit of perpetuals on here about a month ago. But yeah, you get some airdrops, and not expecting a lot. I've been flipping Solana, so 1,000 every other 6 hours or so. I don't know how much they take into account the same sort of amount you're swapping. I don't know what the criteria is, but I'm just doing it. I'm using their exchange to do it. But what I'm actually doing with this 1,000 that I've got on the side ready for the trades, right? What I'm actually going to be doing, what I'm currently doing, is just buying Solana when because it's got a range at the moment, and the range is between 79 to pretty much 89.5, pretty much 89.5 at the moment. So what I'm doing is I'm buying low and selling high. so pretty much I'm just generating money just by looking out for the price movements, basically. So when it moves down to 79 or just the low 80s, right? But right now it's just doing pretty well given what's going on and how Bitcoin is just floating on the 40,000 mark and just under. Solana's actually doing well. It's actually outperforming Bitcoin again, even though the sentiment and the narrative at the moment is just bearish. So it's doing well. Pretty much taking advantage of that like I was doing the other month on MEXC when I was just spot trading. I'm just doing the same thing really, but just using Jupiter Exchange instead as a means to do it, get some airdrops. And it's in, I guess, my wallet, so why not just do it that way? So that's what I'm doing there. Earning about $50 a day doing that. And it's because it's really volatile at the moment in the market. As you can see, if I just go over to the 1 hour chart, you can see that it ranges from, let's just say, I already mentioned it, 79. So 79, and this was Tuesday, right? 79 to, let's just say right now anyway, 79 to 89. But I'm taking advantage of these volatile moments all the time. So I'm making I'm making chunks of USDC based on this. So I'm just flipping Solana into USDC and just rotating it whenever it goes up. I sell, when it comes down, I buy, and repeat. It's literally spot trading, basically. So that's what I'm doing there. With the trades, with the leverage trading, I'm only going to be using, so I got out of that trade, I'm only going to be using probably about 250 just to, on a 5x leverage, just until we get to that sort of bull run stage. Then I will dive into using that 1,000 from the swaps I'm doing, the spot trading essentially I'm doing, from swapping USDC to Solana and back and forth. Use that 1,000, but of course whilst I'm in that period of time, I'll still be making money just by flipping Solana every few hours, and it's doing fine. I mean, even if I was to buy Solana up here and then it dropped down for a long time, say for example 2 weeks, I would be fine with that because it's Solana. I'm not losing, I'm just holding. As you know, explaining the obvious, but you know, the difference there with leverage trading, of course, you are in that trade and there's that risk of it being liquidated. So that's what I'm doing for the time being. Using a small amount for leverage trading, 5x, a couple of hundred only, until, you know, build up that sort of account, build up the funds on that with a 5x. No rush for that at all. No rush for the other one really. It was just to the 100k. I was just creating a title, right, for YouTube, essentially, as long as it makes money. I've got no real targets, to be honest with you, with that. Just as long as it works and it shows on the account balance, or on the balance, right? So that's pretty much it in terms of what I'm doing leading up to the bull run. I think it's, you know, use a small amount for, and of course not financial advice at all, using a small amount for leverage trading whilst it's such a rocky road until you get to that sort of bull run stage where you know and you can see and you can feel the sentiment online, you can feel the narrative, you can see it on the chart, that we go past the 45 again, we go past the 48, 49. Once we touch 50, then I believe that's when we are officially in that bull run stage. Then and only then, of course, we're going to see the dip again when the halving comes, but sort of after that period when things are really start to pick up, that's when I'll go in long 5x and do what my strategy was going to be. But because right now it's just, it's not even worth it. What I've learned is you need to find a reason not to get into a trade rather than find reasons to trade, right? So essentially, don't find a reason. So if it drops down here, that might be a reason to get in. I wouldn't rush into trades. That's what I've learned as well. So rushing into trades isn't really the best idea. Even if you are at a loss. Even if you've lost some money in leverage trading, it's not worth just diving right back in. The brain really makes you really want to get back into it because you want to get back those losses you've lost, and you really want it. You really, really want to get it back. I know that mentality, and it oftentimes makes you want to put higher leverage and just think, oh, screw it, F it, I'll just put all what I've got left into it. You get those sort of momentary things, but if you step away for 10 minutes and then come back, you realize that's not the smart thing to do. So take your time. If you are doing anything like this, or you are thinking to do anything like this, create a goal and strategy and stick to it. Don't change it just because you've lost. Stick to it, and you'll see that it works out well. I've only delayed it because of the markets are so extreme at the moment. I mean, when it comes to a normal day, it's majority of the time so sideways that you can make those profits. But with how volatile it is, it's not worth getting into right now anyway, unless you just want to do like a couple of hundred like I'm going to be doing until, like I've gone over, until that bull run period begins. Then, you know, maybe consider it. But to put a big lump sum in right now is asking for trouble. Even though right now it seems like we have reached a bottom, in a sense, like 39.5 seems to be the bottom, sort of, for Bitcoin. It will probably change after I post this video. It always seems to change when I do a video. The price dramatically moves down after I make videos, I've noticed, but hopefully that won't be the case this time. Alright, I think I've babbled on enough. So what I'm doing is just got $1,000 in Solana. That's what I started with anyway. If I was to sell now, it'll be 1,048. This was yesterday that I did this, started this, or the day before yesterday. There are some times where I miss when the price is higher. Sometimes I obviously miss it, and then I'm not able to swap it. But doing this actually is doing pretty well. I mean, looking at this, it's just a nice volatile way to make money, because it's just up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's the pattern I saw on Solana a couple of months back when I was doing it on MEXC, if a few of you remember that. So I'm just doing that again, but, you know, decentralized way. That's kind of what I'm doing. A couple of hundred in leverage, and just flipping Solana when I see some volatility, and of course my other holdings as well I'm just holding on to, and that's pretty much it. That's how boring it is. I'm not doing any DeFi projects, nothing like that. I'm out of everything right now in terms of that, just hyping up and getting ready for a good 2024. Building that portfolio up slowly but surely is pretty much the only way to go. I mean, if you try and rush into things, it's not going to go very well, especially if you set yourself high targets and then you give yourself high expectations. It's not going to be, it's just those things just don't work out. And yes, I know I'm at 100k, but that's just, it's not going to happen. It's not. If I get to 50k, I'll be very, very happy. Very happy. So, I'm just doing this to make money. I'll let you know how far I've got if I've on this flipping Solana. I know this is just the most basic thing, but I don't really know what to make videos on anymore, because all I'm doing is trading. I'm not, at the moment, I'm not ranting about anything. There's nothing to rant about. There's nothing to talk about, really. You've got other channels to talk about the generic side of crypto. I'm just going over what I'm doing, really. Why am I only choosing Solana? It's generally because I know they're going to be performing pretty damn well. It's just once that bull cycle starts and you just see everything going up and to the right, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm taking that risk. I'm very aware to split it into different different cryptos. I know that. It's just I'm going for that one, and I think that it's just going to perform very, very well, rather than just, mix and matching it. Everything is going to perform well in the bull run. So regardless of what I choose, or multiples of what I choose, it's just going to be scattered profits everywhere. So I'd rather just have one and just focus on one and just see one. Apart from Bitcoin and Ethereum, what's the next crypto you think of? It's going to be Solana. So yeah, that's my update video. I might do a live stream this week and just ramble whilst playing a game. I'm not too sure if I'll do that yet. I'll need to figure out if it actually runs properly, because certain things don't run when I'm streaming at the same time, like games. I'm not sure, but we'll see how that goes. Well, if you watch this, then you are a champion, because I've just waffled on about pretty much the most boring thing ever. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. just to give yourself a thumbs up for lasting this long on this video. Alright, I think I'm done. I think I am done. That is the end of this video. Doodle bip. Cheerio.